Ladies and gentlemen, there is a quiet voice within, a stillness deeper than thought, whispering the eternal truth. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own, and yet the mind wanders, entangled in the endless cycle of what-ifs and what-nexts. But tell me, does the sun worry about rising? Does the river worry about flowing? So why do you fear? Do you not know that the same power that hung the stars in the heavens also guides your steps? Trust and let go. Release the weight of tomorrow, for it is in surrender that peace is found. The kingdom of God is not in some distant future. It is within you now. The present moment is the only reality that has ever existed. Yet the mind, conditioned by habit, seeks refuge in an illusory future, projecting anxieties and expectations onto a time that has not yet come. This constant anticipation of what is to come, this unending cycle of planning, fearing, and hoping, removes us from the one place where true peace resides, the now. To live in the present is not a mere philosophical idea. It is the essence of a fulfilled life. When we are caught in thoughts of tomorrow, we are not truly alive. We may be breathing, moving, and interacting with the world, but our awareness is elsewhere, lost in a realm of uncertainty. The mind whispers, what if things don't work out? What if I fail? What if the worst happens? And in this web of thoughts, we lose the simplicity and beauty of what is before us. Consider a child at play, utterly immersed in the moment, unbothered by thoughts of the future. The child does not worry about where the next meal will come from or how the days ahead will unfold. There is an inherent trust, an unspoken knowing that all will be provided in its time. This is not carelessness, but a deep connection to the natural flow of life. It is only as we grow and become conditioned by fear, expectation, and past experiences that we begin to live more in time than in presence. And yet all of nature moves without worry. The birds rise with the dawn, seeking food without anxious thought. The flowers bloom in their appointed time without strain or doubt. The sun does not wonder if it will shine tomorrow, it simply does. There is a wisdom woven into creation, a divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. It is only human beings who resist this flow, attempting to control that which is beyond them. But what do we gain by worrying about tomorrow? Can a single moment of fear add to the length of our lives? Or does it only take away from the life that is here and now? Worry is an illusion, a projection of the mind, and when we cling to it, we suffer not because of actual events, but because of imagined possibilities. The burden of tomorrow drains the joy of today. When you stand in the present fully, you come to see that all is well, not in the sense that there are no challenges, no responsibilities, no trials to endure, but in the deeper sense that you are always supported, always guided, always provided for. Every breath you take is evidence of grace. Every moment is an opportunity to trust rather than fear. So, what does it mean to live in the present? It means to let go of resistance, to release the grasp of the mind on the future, It does not mean to neglect responsibilities or cease all preparation, but rather to do what is required in this moment and leave the rest in the hands of the one who governs all things. It means to accept what is, without the need for everything to be different before you can be at peace. It means to trust that whatever is truly needed will come, and that what does not come was never required for your journey. Imagine a traveler walking a long road. If he constantly worries about the miles ahead, about whether he will find food, shelter, or comfort, his journey will be filled with unnecessary suffering. But if he takes each step as it comes, meeting each moment as it arrives, he will find that life provides what is needed in its due time. There is great wisdom in surrender. When you stop resisting the present, you step into the flow of life itself. There is no greater peace than knowing that this moment is enough, that you are enough, and that tomorrow will unfold as it is meant to. Trust in this, and the weight of worry will fall away like leaves in the wind. There is a quiet assurance woven into the fabric of creation, a deep and abiding truth that has been spoken since the beginning of time. You are provided for. Just as the sun rises without fail and the rivers continue their course, so too does life sustain you in ways beyond comprehension. But the mind, restless and uncertain, resists this truth, constantly seeking security in plans, possessions, and control. It whispers, "Will I have enough? Will I be taken care of?" And in this doubt, fear takes root, creating an illusion of lack where there is none. Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap, yet they are fed. Not once do they question whether the sky will provide for them. They rise with the dawn, seeking their nourishment without hesitation, and in the seeking they find. There is no fear in them, no anxious striving. And yet, how much more valuable are you than the birds? If such care is given to the smallest creatures, how much more will be given to you? Consider the lilies of the field, clothed in beauty beyond what even the greatest kings of the earth could wear. They do not toil, nor do they spin, yet their radiance is unmatched. They do not wonder if the soil will yield its nourishment, nor do they question the timing of the seasons. They simply grow, unfolding in harmony with the greater rhythm of life. And if the flowers, which are here today and gone tomorrow, are so carefully adorned, will not the same hands that formed them also care for you? But the mind, entangled in the illusion of control, resists this knowing. It believes that provision comes through ceaseless effort, through worry, through an unrelenting grasp on the future. It seeks reassurance in the material, in possessions, in accumulated wealth, believing that these things will bring security. Yet, have you not seen how even the wealthiest among us are plagued by fear? How, despite abundance, there is still an insatiable hunger for more. This is because true provision does not come from the external, but from the unseen source that sustains all life. To trust in divine provision is not to abandon responsibility, nor is it to neglect the actions required of you. It is not idleness or carelessness. Rather, it is to recognize that your striving is not the source of your security. It is to walk the path before you with diligence, yet without fear. It is to understand that the same presence that causes the earth to yield fruit, that brings the rains in their season, that turns the tides of the ocean, is also guiding and sustaining you. When you release the need to control, you step into a profound freedom. You come to see that life is not a struggle but a flow, that what you need will come not through fear but through trust. This does not mean there will be no difficulties, no moments of uncertainty, but it does mean that even in those moments you are not alone. Just as the roots of a tree seek water and find it, so too will you find what is necessary for your journey. Imagine a traveler on a long road. If he is burdened with the thought of whether he will have enough provisions for the entire journey, he will be weighed down by unnecessary fear. But if he trusts that what he needs will be given as he moves forward, he walks lightly, with peace in his heart. He knows that at each step what is required will appear, just as the morning light follows the night without fail. This is the way of life, the rhythm of existence. What you seek is already prepared for you. What you need is already given. Release the burden of worry, and you will see that the hands that form the stars also hold you in perfect care. You are provided for, not because of your striving, but because you are part of something far greater than yourself. Trust in this, and you will lack nothing. The mind is constantly reaching, constantly grasping for something beyond this moment. It projects itself forward into the future, constructing an endless stream of possibilities. Some hopeful, some fearful, all uncertain. This is the illusion of tomorrow, the belief that fulfillment, security, or peace exist somewhere beyond the present moment. Yet, tomorrow does not exist. All that is real, all that has ever been real, is now. How much time is spent living in this illusion? How often does the mind drift into thoughts of what may come, weaving stories of success or failure, gain or loss, all while missing the life that is unfolding now? It tells itself, I will be at peace when, or I will be happy if. But have you ever noticed that when tomorrow arrives, the mind simply shifts to another tomorrow? The chase never ends, because the illusion of tomorrow is an empty promise, a mirage that vanishes the closer you get. Worry is born from this illusion. It arises from believing that something must be controlled, planned, or secured in order for peace to exist. But the reality is, life is not controlled by human effort alone. No matter how much you plan, no matter how much you try to predict or prepare, the future remains unknown. You do not know what tomorrow will bring, just as you did not know yesterday what today would hold. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still provided for. Consider how the wind moves without resistance, how the rivers flow without doubt, how the stars shine without anxiety about their place in the sky. There is a wisdom in life itself, a natural unfolding that does not require interference. The trees do not strain to grow, they simply grow. The sun does not worry about rising, it simply rises. And in the same way, your life is unfolding exactly as it should. Worry does not change the future. It only robs you of the present. There is a profound freedom in realizing that tomorrow is not your concern. This does not mean to be careless, nor does it mean to ignore responsibilities. It means to do what is required in this moment and leave the rest in the hands of the one who governs all things. It means to understand that no amount of worrying, planning, or predicting can alter what is already set in motion. And if the future is uncertain, then why should fear take hold? The same presence that has carried you through and this is, carried you through every moment before, the same presence that had carried you through every moment before this one. Imagine a traveler walking through thick fog. He can only see a few steps ahead, but that is all he needs. He does not need to see the entire path, only the next step. Life is the same. You are not required to know how everything will unfold, only to be present with what is before you. When you surrender the need to see the entire road, you begin to trust that the path will reveal itself as you walk. The illusion of tomorrow is the greatest thief of joy. It tells you that something is missing when in reality nothing is missing. It convinces you that peace will come later when peace is already here, waiting to be embraced. When you step fully into the present, you see that all is well, not because life is perfect, but because there is nothing outside of this moment that is needed for you to be complete. Release the illusion, release the need to know what comes next. The mind will resist seeking to hold on to the familiar habit of worry, but you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness beneath them, the stillness in which life unfolds effortlessly. Trust in this, and you will find that tomorrow was never yours to hold in the first place. Life is now. Be here. There is a stillness beneath all things, a presence that does not waver, no matter how the storms of life may rise and fall. It is the place where true faith is found, not in thoughts, not in endless striving, but in deep surrender to the reality of this moment. In this stillness, fear dissolves, and worry loses its grip, because there is a knowing that all is well, not because of external circumstances, but because of something far greater, the eternal presence of God, who has always been and will always be. But the mind is restless. It seeks answers, control, and certainty. It wants to know what will happen next, to secure its place in the future, to ensure that everything will be as it desires. And so it clings to worry as if it were a form of preparation, believing that through fear it can somehow create safety. Yet, has worry ever added peace to your life? Has anxiety ever brought security? Or has it only pulled you further away from the truth that you are already held, already cared for, already enough? Stillness is the path to faith, because it is only in stillness that we can truly listen. The noise of the mind, the endless stream of worries and plans, drowns out the quiet voice of divine wisdom that is always present. In moments of silence, when the mind rests, there is a gentle knowing, a peace that surpasses understanding. It does not come from logic nor from external assurance, but from the deep awareness that the one who created all things has not forgotten you. Consider the ocean. On the surface, waves rise and crash, moving endlessly in response to the winds and currents. But beneath the surface, in the depths, there is silence, stillness, peace. Your mind may be like the waves, constantly shifting with the winds of life, reacting to every change, every uncertainty. But beneath that, in the depth of your being, there is a stillness untouched by the storms of circumstance. This is where faith is found, not in the mind's understanding, but in the quiet trust that lies beneath all thought. Faith is not the absence of challenges, it is the knowing that even in difficulty you are not alone. It is the trust that, just as the sun rises each day, provision will come, guidance will come, the next step will reveal itself. This trust is not something to be forced or created. It is already within you. It has been there since the beginning, waiting for you to return to it. But to return, you must be still. You must step out of the noise of the mind and into the quiet presence of now. This does not mean escaping life's responsibilities, nor does it mean ignoring the realities of the world. It means engaging with life from a place of trust rather than fear. It means meeting each moment as it comes, without the burden of anxiety about what will happen next. Imagine a tree standing in a storm. The winds howl, the rain pours, the branches sway, but the roots remain anchored, unmoving, unshaken. You are like that tree. When you are deeply rooted in presence, in stillness, in faith, no storm can uproot you. The circumstances of life may shift and change, but the foundation remains unshaken. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, the peace that is not dependent on circumstances, but on the unchanging presence of God. When you enter into stillness, you enter into this peace, you see that you do not need to control tomorrow, because tomorrow is already held. You do not need to carry the weight of the future, because you were never meant to. Be still and know. Know that you are provided for. Know that you are guided. Know that in this moment nothing is missing. The mind may tell you otherwise, but the truth is simple. God is here. Peace is here. All is well. Rest in this knowing, and tomorrow will take care of itself.